Show me.
I'm the martial arts film freak, and I watched Bangkok Dog.
You're getting in too deep, Andrew.
Bangkok Dog is a 2024 film directed by Chaya Supinarat and starring the excellent D.Y. Sao and Brian Lee. We're always happy to see those two. Doesn't matter if it's on YouTube or on film. The movie also stars Sahajak Buntanakit, who we've seen in several other films, as well as the actress who has the other prominent role in this film. Are you ready for this? Jenny Philomena van der... It's awful. It's awful. Jenny Philomena van der... Jenny Philomena van der Sluis. I don't know what ethnicity or language that comes from, so I don't know how to pronounce all those different vowels and consonants together in one way. That might be the most difficult name I've ever pronounced, and I've pronounced a lot of names poorly. Bangkok Dog is about an undercover agent who goes undercover in this Thailand crime syndicate to stop an international drug smuggling ring. While doing so, just kicking all of the ass. I've been very excited for this. DY, Brian, and the rest of the Marshall Club team have been, sort of teasing stuff about this movie for the past several months. And, anytime those guys get together and make a feature-length film, I'm pretty excited. I was just Googling DY Sao, some information, and according to Google, DY is 45 years old, and that doesn't compute. But yes, I've been very excited for this one. Of course, I'm always excited to see DY and Brian and any of those guys. Anytime I can get to see people that I watch on the internet, on YouTube, who make amazing short films and have done so for years, anytime I can get to watch them make a whole film, I'm always excited to watch it. However, this one had a few stumbles for me. Let's talk about the non-action stuff at first, of course. This one, so I'll just get this out of the way. People are going to watch this and they're going to say, oh my god, the acting was terrible. Look, it's a low-budget film, low-budget martial arts stuff. The acting's going to be not great all of the time. Some people have better performances than others. Some people are quite rough around the edges. I can ignore that stuff, really. I will point out performances I did enjoy. I'll say Brian, when he's over the top, when he is chewing the scenery, I loved it. I loved him being just a loudmouth dick. That was a lot of fun for me. It was kind of when he quieted down that he wasn't as good. But whenever he was just being loud and brash, he owned it. One of my biggest issues sort of just lies in the story itself, the storytelling, the plot, all of that stuff. While sure, it makes sense, go undercover, do all that stuff. That's just classic, crime martial arts films. We're used to that. That's a lot of Hong Kong stuff. That's The Enforcer or My Father is a Hero. That's Infernal Affairs. We're used to that out of some great Hong Kong cinema. Super Cop. He's undercover in Super Cop. It's great. It's a classic trope. The problem is nothing really drives the story forward other than the decisions of Brian Lee at one point of his character, whose name I am blanking on at this very moment. That's right, it doesn't say it on IMDb. So our hero, he goes undercover and he just kind of exists while undercover. He doesn't make any decisions that drive the plot forward. There's no major circumstances surrounding him that alter his course or do anything to him. The best part of him being undercover, other than of course the action, which we will get to, is at one point when he finally meets like the big bad guy, he's sort of just forced to do some really dark stuff he doesn't want to do, and watching him grapple with that is really as interesting as it gets, and that only happens once. He builds a decent friendship with one person while undercover, and he sort of has to go back and forth with that, but even that doesn't really result in much. While he's undercover, he has a handler played by Jenny Longname, and she even calls him out in saying, "You've been at this for months, and all I've seen you do is party and fight. You haven't gotten anywhere. You haven't done anything." And I was like, I agree with Jenny. We even get a montage of his fights and partying, and it doesn't really do anything to service the plot, service the story, or service the character. I like a good montage. Trust me. Martial arts film freak. We love our kung fu movies. Kung fu movies are full of training montages. We all like the Rocky films. Every Rocky movie, every Creed movie has a great training montage that gets you all hyped up. But the training montages are doing more than just, showing something cool or hyping you up. They're showing the progression of our hero. They're showing the progression of our hero, of our main character, our protagonist, both physically and mentally. We're seeing our character evolve in front of our eyes through these training montages or other things like that, or even fight montages. This one, he's in the same place he was at the beginning of the montage. He's in the same place he is at the end of the montage. He doesn't progress. He doesn't move anywhere. The story itself does not move anywhere through this montage. It's just sort of showing you what he's up to, and I gotta say, you could have probably done it in a bit of a better way. So while I don't mind the simpleness, the basicness of an undercover story, you've got to have something driving the plot forward. Yes, I said that one character, a villain character, does make a decision that sort of alters things later on, but you kind of had to wait to get there, and while we waited to get there, nothing happens. Other than that thing he has to do where he's like, oh, this is dark and I find it disturbing. Well, cool, take that somewhere. Make that progress your character or this story to the next level. And that next level never happens until something else alters the story. We also get a relationship development in the far latter half of the film that the movie does not earn. They set some stuff up. They sort of drop some like big hints of something, but nothing throughout the movie progresses that either, to where at the end when this relationship is strong, you're like, but why? But let's get to the action, because that's why we're here. We're here for D.Y. Sao. We're here for Brian Lee. We're here for some classic YouTube martial arts, but on the big screen. And by on the big screen, I mean on my TV. Rented this on Apple. This was not a movie theater experience. However, I would have gladly gone to the movies for this. The action, the martial arts, the grips, the graps, the punches, and the kicks here in Bangkok Dog is... It's fine. It's completely fine. I raved in my last video on how 100 Yards, the choreography, was so simple, was so grounded, was so minimalistic that it was beautiful. And while D.Y. Sao and Brian Lee are both expert, incredible martial artists, some of the very best working in movies today. I will watch them in any movie. I do not care. Something about their styles here. One with the tiger style kung fu that was very fun to watch. The other with a lot of Muay Thai, which was also very fun to watch. It's just kind of something I've already seen them do a lot on YouTube, and maybe a little bit better. Probably not even better. Probably just that I've already seen them do a lot of this stuff on YouTube, and I might be a little numb to it. Like, yes, they are breaking into a new medium. They should take this stuff that made them popular on the internet and project that for the world to see, for more people to see. I have a friend on TikTok who I'll plug up here, go watch. There's probably not even anything up there for you to see, but at least a channel over here I'll put. You can go follow him on TikTok. He did a video about this movie, and he was blown away, mind incinerated by the greatness that is DY, Sao, and Brian Lee and their style, their cinematic martial arts choreographical styles that I do love and appreciate. He's never seen it before. He's not in the martial arts community. He's not watching these short films on YouTube. And he saw this movie and he was like, these guys are blowing my mind. And for him, I am so happy. And for DY and Brian, that is the goal. To get their stuff out to people who don't watch them on YouTube, who don't follow them on social media, have not been following their journeys for years, witnessing them as stunt people or, random background characters and stuff like Into the Badlands, The Brothers' Son, or Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm happy to see them. Every time I see them in those things, I go full Leo. But you have somebody like my buddy here who doesn't know them, doesn't know a single thing they've ever done. So when he sees this, it is brand new. And that is exactly what DY and Brian and anybody from that community should be pushing for. New audiences, new heights. But for me, the hardcore fan who has seen them been doing this stuff for well over a decade, I've seen it before. And while I do want something new from them, I do appreciate that they need to take the skills that got them to the ball game and put it on stage for new eyes to see. I fully appreciate and understand that. What they do in this movie is still great. What they do in this movie is still jaw-dropping, fast-paced, incredible, fantastic martial arts. From the fight scenes, from the kicks and the punches to the acrobatics, they are the very best. They even sort of repeat many classic flurries and exchanges, shapes, very fast shapes, and back and forths that we've seen them do many times on YouTube. We see them do that same thing in this movie. Again, I appreciate it. It's just kind of something I've seen before. I do appreciate that DY is doing like hardcore Bruce Lee stuff, but as a Muay Thai fighter. He does this combination Tony Jaa and Bruce Lee where he hits these fantastic Muay Thai forms, moves, hits, lands all these great impactful moves, but then just pulls off these wonderful Bruce Lee facials, just Bruce Lee like affects. I also appreciate seeing DY throw down with Ron Smorenberg. That was a fun time. But overall, despite truly adoring their styles, adoring watching them do what they do, I will repeat it, they are some of the very best working today. As much as I appreciate and love watching them do it, none of it really got me to that next level of, witnessing something. I feel like I witnessed something with many of the fight scenes in 100 Yards. Other movies I've seen this year, Life After Fighting or 60 Minutes or even Kill with just this extreme level of violence. Movies that truly felt like they pushed something to the next level. But it was really, at the end of the day, it was just stuff that I've never seen before. I'd never seen, that style of violence in something like Kill. I'd never seen Bren Foster push something to the limits as hard as he does in Fighting With My Family. I've never seen some of the stuff that we see in something like Baby Assassins 2. The amazing, realistic mixed martial arts mixed with a fantastical flair for the camera in 60 Minutes. These were all things that were new to me. They got me excited. But because I've seen everything I've seen here many, many times on YouTube over the past decade, nothing in this movie really got me that excited because it was all very common for me. But again, for people like my buddy here, Brian, I just don't know why I just said their name, Brian. Mr. Mayfield, his name's probably not even Brian. I don't know why I said Brian. For people like him, this was brand new. This was exciting. It was awesome. And that's exactly what this movie should be doing. In the end, I am going to give Bangkok Dog, oh God, let's give it 3.5 chopped off fingers out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. That sort of is a good little place for the movie there. I liked it. I did enjoy it. It just was not pushing to the heights I was hoping to see, I guess. But tell me what you thought of Bangkok Dog in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on all the fight scenes. Did you enjoy seeing Brian and DY throw down in a movie and not just on YouTube? You didn't have to click that play button. You just had to hit, play movie on your main menu. If this was a DVD. But comment down below your thoughts on the movie. Don't forget to follow on all the socials. That is Martial Arts Film Freak on Facebook, Martial Arts Film Freak on Instagram, Tristan_Glover on Twitter. Jesus Christ, I'm freaking out. My mind is going blank at the end of this. Tristan_Glover on the Twitter and Martial Arts Film Freak on the TikTok. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.